What's up, everybody? We've got some new Rocket League news for y'all today. Some roster changes are finally starting to begin, and one of the players actually trying to present something about a players union, which is something that's actually been discussed in the past, but again being rehashed, and we're going to provide some thoughts on that. What's up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. We've got some roster stuff to discuss, one that started as a rumor that has officially been confirmed, as well as some other things about a player union possibly forming. Conversations obviously continuing after yesterday's little scandal of Reynolds getting suspended and the RLCS admin call and all that kind of stuff. So people are talking, which isn't always a bad thing because it does lead to hopefully change and things getting better. So with that said, let's get into everything. As you guys know, if you'd like to follow along or would like information in additional sense, you can find those links that I'm talking about in the description down below. And while you're down there, if you enjoy the content, thumbs up, subscribe, check out the social medias, give those a like and follow as well. A couple days ago, we saw that Virtuoso put out a tweet of the little kid video where he's like being asked if he's fine. He says yes, and then he starts crying. And everybody's like, what's going on? And then he got rid of his Endpoint banner, got rid of his Endpoint tags in his bio. So everybody started assuming that it didn't look like he was going to be on Endpoint anymore. Shortly after, Shift put out a tweet stating that after missing out on the Spring Major and subsequently the top 6 in Europe, Endpoint will be looking to replace Virtuoso ahead of the next season of RLCS. We talked about domino effects possibly happening and how quickly they were going to happen. And at the same time, the sooner probably the better. It gives them more options. It also shows who's available and what players can go with who. So you are going to start to see a lot of the teams kind of in this area where they're not in top 6 have a player or so drop off, because then they can start looking and trying out new players. Eventually, it was later confirmed. It's not just a rumor from Shift, but it is Endpoint dropping that we must sadly announce that we are moving on from Virtuoso to the inactive roster. So as of right now, he is a sub or a benched player, and he is able to look for other options, while Endpoint will be doing the same. So there is plans that right now Virtuoso is still under contract. They're still paying him, but the plans are once the contract expires, or if a team would like to buy out his contract, that is what will happen. So they are looking for a new third. That is the plan. They say, thank you, Vert, for being a beast on the field. We wish you the best of luck in the future, and then have a video that is associated to it that ends up playing, showing highlights, and obviously them speaking on it. The next player who is on the looking for team train is going to actually be Rise. He says, I've decided that it would be best for me to leave Illusion and commit myself to fully looking for a new team. Nothing but love for the boys, Parka, Tadpole, and Ethan, their coach. I wish you all the best in the future. And again, you're going to see that, I think, happen quite a bit. There is going to be a ton of players that feel like right now their team, although maybe competitive, may not be the team they think is going to go all the way to the top. They'll be able to obviously make it into the RLCS here and there, but for some that just isn't good enough. They want to be and give themselves the opportunity to play in the top 6. You want to go to the World Championship, even if there is none, but that is the focus, and you're going to be seeing that a lot. So much so that you get the exact same thing from Polar. Polar decides to do the same thing and says nothing but love for Calyx and Joyo. So they are also going to be looking for a new third, while Polar decides to go elsewhere. I did find this tweet originally because it was posted a little bit earlier before I got this video out, and now the tweet no longer exists, possibly deleted. If you go to Polar's actual Twitter, it does say that he is with Nixus, which I can't really tell. I don't know if it's a freestyle team. I don't know if it's like creative team. I don't know what kind of team it is. But right now he is under Nixus. I don't know if he's a freestyler. I don't know what the heck he's doing. I didn't see anything on his Twitter about specifics of him signing with Nixus. So as soon as I ended the recording and started working on another video, Polar ended up putting out a tweet. He ended up saying this: I don't really think a tweet longer is necessary. So for those interested, I'm going to be quitting Rocket League competitively. We'll still play the game, but I don't have the same sort of passion to compete anymore. It's been on my mind a lot, and it's the best way forward for me. There you go. Going to be focusing on content or something in the other regards, but competing is no longer the thing. That clarifies that. As a reminder for those that do not remember, the First and Friends versus Guild show match went down yesterday. I'm not going to spoil any of the results. I highly recommend going and tuning in and checking it out. All that stuff will be posted, and if you guys would like to, you can go check out the VOD at Johnny Boy's Twitch channel. Last, and certainly not least, Acronik, new player for BS Plus competition, who's been getting a lot of love for his individual mechanical play, decided to put out a tweet in regards to the whole RLCS admin call. It says, first off, I agree with the fact that the pro scene being a bit immature. I'm 15, and I still have some immature decisions as well, But I think if we want the RL esports scene to grow and be more in line with what the pros want, we should have a monthly or every 3 month a representative from each region being able to decide or to give ideas to the future of this esport. I also think that making this one of the first topics being talked about with coaches is them being allowed in the lobby, with the format for the future should be, and for example, how to address the SSG incident for the next time. One of the people face reply, "What are you suggesting is some kind of player union?" And he says exactly with a winky face. A couple problems with this. Obviously, you do have a lot of young kids in the RLCS, and a union for something where most of them do not know the ins and outs is difficult. Not saying they cannot find representation. You're definitely going to want some. Like he mentioned, because of this younger age, having a representative from someone from each of the regions that is a bit older that can speak on the behalf of everybody and kind of filter out all the nonsense. But it definitely needs to be something that I think is discussed further. This is something that I've been talking about for a long time. This is something that most of the content creators have been talking about for a long time. This is something that everybody from top to bottom has been discussing with Psyonix. People want more communication. This is nothing new. This is something that's been going on for the past 5 years. And the problem is you have a new pro that is already being like, yeah, we need this. And it's 5 years later and nothing's changed. So I do agree with Acronik. I don't think there's ever a bad thing of a collaboration of ideas and mindsets as a collective. If you have all of the pros and all the coaches and all the managers and say, hey, these are the things that we wish would change. These are the things we would like. This is where we would like things to go. And they present them to Psyonix, and Psyonix or Epic Games, whoever it may be, also says, hey, we're the RL esports team in this case. Let's sit and have a conversation with representatives. Bring us your list or your things that you would like to discuss, and we'll talk about why they can or cannot happen. We'll also take them with a grain of salt. Because obviously, at the end of the day, Psyonix is a business, and they need to make sure their best interest is in mind. And that may not always align with some of these younger players or even older players. Obviously, there is a goal I assume they have in mind. There is an end game. There is something that they are trying to accomplish. And some of those things may go against the wants and desires of not only the players, the coaches, the managers, the casters, the community, and everybody else. That is sometimes business. That is sometimes the way that it goes. Psyonix is going to continue to make those decisions whether we like it or not. Some may be good, some may be bad. That's just the way it goes. The fact that Acronik is thinking about this, though, is really good. It is something that you're seeing that the desire to have a line of communication so we can prevent further issues like the RLCS admin call are really, really good. I can tell you that the RLCS commentators used to do this on a very regular basis, where at the end of every season, we collectively as a group would sit and talk and express our concerns. What are the things we liked, didn't like? What were some of the changes we enjoyed? What are things that we wish would happen? What are our concerns? Why haven't these things happened yet? Why can't these things happen? And basically expressed our frustrations, the things we liked and disliked, and presented them as a collective in a meeting with Psyonix. We had a point of contact. If you guys remember Gillyweed, that was our person that we got to sit and discuss with, and we would bring up our concerns, and then she would present that to her higher ups, and hopefully things changed. So those are the types of things that would not hurt if the players, which is going to force them to communicate and collectively get together and try to organize, which is, you've seen, can be a problem here and there. But that's not saying it's not past them. Obviously, if this is a big concern and the frustrations are continuing to climb, it's going to motivate some people to kind of take the reins and basically control the situation, which, again, someone just needs to step up and do it. There's nothing preventing them from doing this. It doesn't need to be like an official thing. What they basically need to do is have someone step up and say, hey, I'm former pro, current pro, I'm this person, whatever it is. I'm going to reach out to a bunch of people and say, hey, what are your concerns? What does your team feel? Is this how we all feel? Okay, cool. And then bring that up to someone like Scheist or whoever you want. Those guys are willing to listen. They're willing to hear what people have to say. It's just a matter of they will take it with a grain of salt, because sometimes the concerns are so far-fetched and selfish in retrospect to where, again, it's going to be give and take. It's something that line of communication is something that this community has wanted for a really long time. It's nothing new, so someone just needs to step up and do it. Hopefully one of them steps up. I don't think it's a bad idea by any means, and hopefully it leads to a better and better esport, and it progresses the way that makes the players happy. Because keep in mind, what the players want may not be what the community wants, so keep that in mind. At the end of the day, if no players want to play, then we don't have an esport in the first place, so making them happy is kind of number one. That is going to wrap it up for this video of Rocket League news. Up next, we've got some stuff to discuss. In future videos, we're going to be talking about, obviously, standings, what it means for the major, top 6 spots, all that kind of stuff. Also, some power rankings are going to be coming relatively soon. Also, Got a Rocket Talk with Scrub Killer coming up in probably a week or so, I think. I think that's when we were scheduling it. So some fun stuff around the corner. But that is going to wrap it up for me today. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, comments down below. Links to everything we're talking about in the description, along with my social medias. If you want to go give those a like and follow. If you would like to hear more about this or discuss it further, come hang out. Twitch.tv/Lawler. We stream every day but Tuesday. Although this week's a little weird because I'm casting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday twice. Because there's a tiebreaker. Oh yeah, for those that don't know, version 1 versus Ghost tiebreakers on Sunday. Keep that in mind. But yeah, enjoy the content. Give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.